welcome to Aunty K's, folks. We are here with another tarot study buddy. So this is a co-parenting tarot study buddy spread that we are going to get into today. And this is where reading our own tarot readings is difficult because we have our own preconceived ideas. We want to see everything as being okay. It can go the other way as well. It can be hard to see the messages being given to us through our own personal ego. And so this is the reading today. This is somebody who recognized exactly what their difficulty with this reading was. They recognized it straight up, and we're going to get to it. They're like, this is what I see, but I can't help but think I'm seeing this because I want to see this. And this is where it's great to have tarot friends, and that's also why I'm here. And if you'd like to send a reading into Tarot Study Buddy for the very same reasons, you can do that. The information is in the description box. All right. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Keep your comments nice. This is somebody's real life, folks. All right. As always, the person who sends in their reading will be referred to as my friend, and we will keep their personal information private in that way. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we are going to get into the reading here. I have used Star Spinner again as it is it's really friendly to being fairly universal in these readings. Should I get a Rider-Waite-Smith deck? Probably not. It's probably not where this is going. I think this does a good job. Okay. So we have a co-parenting relationship here. And the questions are the strength that carries us through hard times, the Six of Cups. How I can improve our relationship, the Seven of Cups. Where we're headed as co-parents, the Seven of Wands. And the shadow card is the underlying energy pulled into the spread, Ten of Pence. Okay, so my friend sees the kindness and the hopefulness in the Six of Cups. And to be fair, has not pulled this card very often. So we are going to get into some of the more frequent and common things behind the Six of Cups, behind that kindness and that hopefulness as we unpack this spread. Forward progression, to be true to ourselves. There is a forward progression. We are moving from the 6 forward to the 7 here. But in the cups, they're complicated, and in the 7th, you're answering will, but in cups, it's a struggle. In the cups, you are really struggling to achieve each of those things. And it's in the 8 where we see less struggle in achieving the action of that card. So there is a forward progression, but it's hard, and it can be really easy to have not gone about it in a good way. We know that this forward progression has come very literally from the 5 of Cups. Completely. This is a co-parenting situation. They went through the 5 of Cups. You're literally at the 6 and the 7. Then we have the 7 of Wands. Where are we headed as co-parents? Struggles. And my friend talks about how, in this desire to be true to the self, and this is what's going to be helpful, to be true to the self, however hard we fight for what we believe. And this is going to tell us a lot about the Shadow card and the Six of Cups. Here, the Seven of Cups is an action. It's really the only action card in this spread. The Shadow card, my friend has read the Ten of Cups as, they are both, the underlying energies are both care about what is best for their child. This isn't wrong, but there is a lot more here. And what we have to look at, this is the Shadow card. And in a spread that doesn't ask what is wrong here, this really is the Shadow card. This is not the light underlying energy. That energy we see really easily, and it's up here. This is the energy that you don't want to look at. That's on the bottom, that's buried underneath on the bottom of the deck, and you've pulled it out to look at it. So we're going to look at the shadow, an aspect that is buried. All right, so let's get into it. Let's have a chat about these two cards. The Shadow card here is the Ten of Pence. And this Ten of Pence, it's this desire for a happy, full family. It is centered on the child because it is about what you are going to pass on to the next generation. It's your dreams of, being about 20 years older than you are right now, and your child being 20 years older right now, and the fullness of the home and the table, and the offerings that you have for your child, and that your child has to consider what they're going to offer up in family for themselves at some point around that age or coming shortly after. So this is a dream of where one wants to be in the case of my friend here, in about 20 years. And that's a part of it. But we just experienced, or my friend just experienced, the Five of Cups. And the reading has placed them at the Six of Cups. Strength to carry us through the hard times. I think kindness is a good thing to look into here. But I also think that this reading is placing this card here to say, be strong right now. This is the hard time where you figure out what's really going on. This is the hard time. Because this is not going to look like right now. Your future doesn't look like this, because it is a split family, because it is a co-parent family, and you desperately want to find a way to make it be just like this, but as co-parents. This is the desire here, and that desire is a strength. But there is a lot of pitfalls in this strength. This strength can go wrong in a lot of ways, and it has a lot of warning signs. It's going to be the struggle, is to figure out how to do this in a healthy way. We're going to pick up the other two cards and pull them back in here right now. Okay. So you have a dream of the great home and family life to bring your child up in. You have a dream of it. And since it can't be one home, it will be two. And here's where we see the problem. We do have kindness. We do have hopefulness. We see it in the reading of the 7, which isn't wrong, but we had to see the pitfalls. Where are we headed as co-parents? However hard we fight for what we believe. It's a very hopeful statement. It's very fair to both people, but it's avoiding the pitfalls and the problems. And this comes up in this: you still only get to dream about what one castle looks like. You can fight for what you believe in your castle, and the other co-parent can fight for what they believe in their castle. But you guys can't be fighting, about what you believe both castles should look for. That dream doesn't exist anymore. You can only provide the castle that your child is in your home, and the other co-parent provides the castle for their home. And where am I seeing this? The 6 is primarily about looking back after that loss. And you're looking back and you're trying to resolve it. Because the 7 of Cups isn't so much about knowing your true self, but knowing what the right choice is. What is the right choice to make of all these choices? And it also, in many of its symbolisms, but not all of them, but many of them, it symbolizes a cup that is like a distraction. What looks like the right choice, but isn't. It looks like the right choice to be fighting for what you believe, to make sure that, your child has 2 immaculate, wonderful, fully fed castles, and that's all they will ever have. But the 2 of you cannot fight for that. So you need to look back and see that you gave up the dream of co-designing completely in a melded together way the castle your child will grow up in. What you have to decide is how to be good neighbors and provide like a good neighborhood of castles for your child to grow up in. You have to be good neighbors to each other. And good neighbors don't get to decide what's going on in each other's castle to the degree that the 2 of you are trying to. And there needs to be less control. You are each going to have the right choices for you. And because the relationship in the singular castle is gone now, and you both have separate castles now, so your understanding of what is the best choice for the other person has changed. You will know less and less and less about what is the best choice for them, and they will know less and less and less about what is the best choice for you. So you need to be worried about the choices that are best for you and your child in your castle, and for making the transition back and forth between your castle and your neighboring co-parent's castle. And I say neighboring metaphorically in the type of relationship that you two have. This is the sort of neighbors that probably sit out on the lawn together, but don't get to go in each other's home where you can nitpick the dust. Even secretly and quietly. There needs to be more of a separation between the 2 of you to have a healthy co-parenting relationship. Because you can't be trying to make decisions looking like these two. Because these two are a couple who are not dealing with the fact that they just went through the Five of Cups. They don't know how to behave with each other. They don't know appropriate amounts of closeness. And that's what is coming through in this reading is a lack of boundaries and looking to how things were. Trying to have the boundaries that were instead of the boundaries that are needed now. That needs to be resolved a lot better. And then you can be free to choose the best cup for you and your child when your child's in your castle, and the co-parent can be free to choose the cup from the Seven of Cups. That's the best choice for them. And that's going to ease those struggles. That will let you both fight for what you believe without having to fight for it. Without having to fight each other for it. You're already going to have to fight the world to create, the home you want for your child. And so is the other co-parent. So stop fighting each other. There are things you don't approve of. There are things they don't approve of. But mostly, a lot of that disapproval is tied into being at the Six of Cups moment from the Five of Cups moment. And we get a lot more nitpicky. So there needs to be more boundaries in the Six of Cups stages so that you can choose your own Seven of Cups, and really they choose their own Seven of Cups too. I feel this is very much like a two-way street. I feel very much this is like a two-way street. And they might be doing things that are really unfair. You might be doing really things that are unfair, but it's because you both believe in it. But they're unfair. So you need to both figure out where the boundaries of what you believe in belong. And when you do that, you can both drive your own chariots. Because you said at the heart, you're both kind and hopeful people. And you both are focused on what you're passing on to the next generation. If you truly believe this, which the cards are speaking to, then you both need to be letting go of control with each other a lot more. Yeah. The cups are tricky to read. And to be fair, so are the pens. And that's because they deal with connection and family and her emotions, and those are hard things to read in life. So this is where the struggle lays in it. But yeah, this is what's going on, and I'm going to do a wrap up. In this reading, there is nothing really that my friend read incorrectly. There was a lack of information in the cups, and a difficulty to look at the difficulties in the struggles down here in the Seven of Wands and the Ten of Pence, which is what's really difficult to do in our lives. These are the things that are difficult to dig into and look at the difficult aspects of them. And when we are looking at a reading and we know there are good things and positive things, and we can see the good things, we know there's things that are difficult and there are struggles. So start looking for them. And it is hard to do, but if you look at it and say, I know there's a balance between the struggles and the triumphs, so look for them in the cards when you only see the triumphs, and look for them in the cards if you only see the struggles, because there's always a bigger aspect of the story. Look at what else is happening, but previous to this, especially when we see a progression. So we know that my friend is going to be able to figure this out and move to 6 to 7, because they've moved from 5 to 6, and we have 7 come up next. Think about, especially when you see progressions, but even otherwise, what comes before, quite literally, especially in a case like this. And it can help unpack some of the story. So I see that 5 of Cups, and yeah, this relationship ended. Aside from, we're being amicable and kind and hopeful, what's underlying that? What's the uncomfortable part of that? It is children in a home. It is children in a home and in the past, and they are looking back. It does talk about problems with that. The imagery is often, I think, more to the point in non-clone decks than in the Rider-Waite-Smith card, actually, I think. But that's unless you unpack the whole card. And Arcane Panda unpacks that whole card during Terrathon. So I will get a link into the description box for this. Not forget it. But she unpacks this whole card. So there are positives and negatives in the card, and it's really, really very interesting. Of course, you don't pull in every single aspect, but we look at the whole story and everything that is going on. And when we're looking at our shadow cards, we need to look at what is it we're struggling to look at and deal with. The idea that, you only control half your child's life, half your child's castle experience. Only control your own castle, and not everything anymore. You don't have a full say over it. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary because, as parents, we ultimately don't trust anybody else to do it as good as we would. And that's what makes it really scary and really difficult. But that's what the struggle is, too. And the struggle is pointing at it. Really quite directly, I didn't, but see. He's facing it. He's facing that shadow and that struggle. So we are seeing that there, too. And, yeah. I hope that's helpful to everybody. Do make comments if you have something helpful and constructive to add, or that you learn. But remember, this is a real person and their real life. And so if you're interested in joining Tarot Study Buddy, you go to www.auntykstarot.com. If you are on a mobile device, you go to the drop-down menu and you will see Tarot Study Buddy. If you are on a computer, it will be in the top menu bar as well as the drop-down menu. And you go to Tarot Study Buddy, and fill out the form. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It asks you different parts of the information that I need to create this, and you'll receive an email from me about what to expect, and then I make this video and I send you some notes and make sure you're okay with that, and then I get it together and upload it. And that's how we do Tarot Study Buddy. You remain anonymous. I will call you my friend throughout all of the throughout this episode, and that's how it works. I hope you'll join us. Do check out other things on my website, like signing up for my monthly newsletter, my bookings and appointments, the Land Back Tarot, and also I have a new thing that I'm getting going where one person a week wins a free reading. All right, talk to you all later, folks.